What's up, guys? So I don't know if I like being this close to the camera. I don't know. So today we're getting into part 2 of our writing the TV pilot series. So let me go ahead and get this coffee and then we can begin the yap session. Say hi, Mama. Say hi. Okay, we've got our coffee. Now let's get to what you guys are really here for. Okay, we're recording. I'm gonna remind myself to not keep it so close to my mouth this time because I feel like in the last video it was very unnecessarily loud at some points. So I'm gonna try to keep this because I think I had it like this close to my mouth. We're gonna try to keep it right here. I'm gonna move this because this doesn't really need to be in the shot. I'd like it to feel more like vloggy, but I don't really have anywhere that I need to go. So you guys are just stuck with me in my room in the meantime. Now, just a quick recap to catch you guys up. If you guys wanna know what we talked about in the last episode, you should definitely go and check that out. The link will be down below in the bio. Yeah, so that was pretty much like the base of what we came up with in the last video. I really just rambled and paced. I don't know how you guys found that entertaining, but I'm glad you guys are back. So thank you for coming back. So in my last video, I was having a hard time deciding if I wanted to do more unconventional characters, like middle-aged, or just like characters you would initially think of. I don't know. And because when I first came up with the concept, I really wanted like a group of teenagers or like a group of like young adults because I'm a young adult and that's the first thing my mind came to. But then at the same time, something in me was like, wouldn't it be more interesting if they were like middle-aged? Like, I don't know, unconventional characters tend to make the story a lot more exciting at times. What I decided to ultimately do was instead of making them like high school age or something like that, I'd probably lean more towards like late 20s, if anything. I feel like that's a pretty fair like in the middle where it's like they're not teenagers but they're not like middle-aged, they're kind of just like in that pocket, like in your late 20s transitioning into your 30s possibly. And so that's kind of like maybe they're coming home from college, they're in that age where it's like you're coming home from college and now you've got your adulthood to kind of get into. So that's kind of like the age I settled at. A part of me still feels like they should be older, but I'm gonna stick with what I have now because I'm pretty satisfied. So, as always, I usually use my red marker for my ideas, but I don't know, I feel like the vibe is blue today. We're gonna break out the blue marker. Okay, so I had like a group of 4, I'll say late 20s to early 30s. I already know, like, since there's 4 of them, I'm gonna be like that person down the middle and be like, 2 guys, 2 girls. And I want to give them like cool names too. So, okay, first of all, I've got to think about their role in the band. Let's see, it's jazz. So I do want to have someone on keys. It's jazz, yes, but it's modern. So like you can get like pads to do like a saxophone and trumpet sounds nowadays through like the keys. So I think like the keys is going to cover like the sax and the trumpet and like all the effects and everything. So I'm going to do like electric keys. These are just the different roles. Obviously, we got the rapper, or I'm going to say the poet. Spoken word. Poet/spoken word. Obviously, I want someone on the bass. Gotta have our guitarist. I'll do bass/strings, just in case they want to switch it up. And then, obviously, we gotta have a drummer. So, yeah. I think you can do a lot with that. Electric keys, the poet, spoken word, bass, strings, and then we've got the drummer. I'm one of those people that I kind of take like my real world experiences or like people I know and I kind of like turn them into characters. Does that sound weird? I feel like saying that out loud makes it sound a little weird now. Chat, am I weird? So, okay, 2 guys, 2 girls. Who do I want to... I feel like girls playing like bass, like strings, is so badass. I know I'm gonna have one of the girls be a bass, the strings person. Underline that. And then maybe one of the girls can be the keys. So spoken word and drummer are gonna be the guys. And like, I don't know if you guys were able to check out Diggable Planets from like the last video. They consist of like 3 rappers, 2 guys, 1 girl, and they all rapped. So I kind of want a thing where it's like, maybe like the rapper of the group, he's obviously like the leader, like the main rapper. But what if like the girl on the keys, what if she like rapped a little bit? Or what if she had like singing parts as well? Because I like it to be more than just rap. Obviously I want vocals in there. So what if she's like vocals, he's like rap? And then like if she had like these really cool like Billie Holiday like tones in her voice. Or she could be like the since she's like a bit more modern, like the closest person I could think of who has like a really melodic like jazz voice, like Halle Bailey from Chloe and Halle. That could be her voice inspo. I like that. Okay, cool. So my favorite part, this part always comes easy to me. I love naming my characters. I already know what I want to name the guys. So I've got 2 brothers. If they ever find this video, they'll never let me hear the end of this. I think I'm gonna name it after my brothers. I'm gonna go based off their middle names because I really like my brother's middle names. So the first one, the drummer, I'm gonna name him after my big bro. He's gonna be Donovan, but they're gonna call him Donnie, or D for short. Actually, I'm gonna put this in red. I like the idea of like the drums being like the loudest instrument, but him kind of being like the really like quiet and chill dude. Like initially I thought like the rapper would be like the really like chill and quiet dude, like, but I feel like it'd be cooler if it was the drummer, just because the drums are such like a loud and like demanding presence. So yeah, I'm gonna make him like the really chill, kind of like quiet, only talks when he really needs to, really observant type. I'm already thinking like aesthetics and everything, guys. I kind of want him to have like a Tyler the Creator aesthetic, like the dressing at least. And then like later, I'm gonna go ahead and get on Pinterest and see if I can find like character inspo, hair, style, just things of that nature, fashion. All right, so I've got the drummer. The drummer is gonna be Donnie, or Donovan, aka Donnie. And then we've got the rapper. It's gonna be my little brother. His middle name is Kareem. I really, really like that name. Oh my God, guys, I cooked. Listen to this. Okay, so if the rapper's name is Kareem, right? What if like his like stage name, because I'm thinking of like Wu-Tang Clan, was like Cream, like Cream. Cream? Because he's like, he got these silky smooth bars. Like, bro is smooth with it. Bro, come on, man. We're in the pocket. We're in the pocket. I play too much. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Kareem, aka Kareem. He's gonna be the storyteller of the group with a creamy, smooth delivery. Like his influences or his inspirations are kind of like, because when I think of like him, I think of rappers like Common, Mos Def, Tribe Called Quest. Obviously I already said Diggable Planets, but Diggable Planets is like the top inspiration, but those other rappers, that's kind of like how I imagine like his flow or his cadence. And I think for his style, I kind of want him to have like that really like cool like streetwear style. Like it's New York, more modernized too, not so much like 90s, because everything else about him feels so 90s. So I kind of want him to have like a modern like streetwear style. All right, cool. So we've got Donnie and we've got Kareem. I like those so far. So let's see, the girls, we've got the electric keys and the bass strings. Not that that has anything to do with their names, but I'm already like thinking like it's just because like Alicia Keys was the first person that came to mind. I kind of want her to have like a cool like Alicia Keys vibe, but then I feel like all of them can't be like this really like cool, chill, laid back type personality. I've got to throw in some like different personalities in there to kind of make them their own person as well. I want it to be like an undeniably black name. Like I really like Imani. I feel like that's used a lot, but I really like that name, Imani. Or It's either going to be Imani or Sarai. I think but Imani's a really good name too. I feel like you would hear Imani more as opposed to Sarai. So I feel like I should name her Sarai because it's just a little different. I don't know, guys. I like them both. So it's just going to be Sarai / Imani. Maybe I'll see what you guys have to say about that if you guys can help me pick. I kind of want her to have like a vintage style. I don't know how to like explain it, but I can visualize it in my head. So that'll be something that I'll flesh out more once we switch over to the computer portion of this vlog, and then I can get on Pinterest and show you guys like my inspirations, and I can hopefully put together her little Pinterest board with this vintage style. And yeah, I think that'll work. Which leaves us with our very last character, who is going to be the bass or the strings of the group. I want her to be like really fun, because I feel like typically if you play bass, then you're like really chilled out, because it's the bass. It's like you're like really chilled out. Like, this is my impression of playing the bass. Like, you're like in the back, just really chill, really chill. I want her to be like the bubbly, like fun, like little sister type vibes. Definitely like the baby of the group, which makes it ironic because I feel like the bass is such like a big, like, you got to really hold that instrument down, you know? But I feel like she's going to be like the heart of the group, if you will. Yeah, because I feel like the bass is like the backbone of the group. It's the melody that holds everything or brings everything together. Like, without the bass, like, the music sounds off, you know? So I like that role for her. She's just going to be super optimistic, super just woo, bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. That's what I'm imagining for her. Maybe like a trace of ADHD in there. I kind of love that for her. The first name that kind of comes to mind is something like Lola or like Lila. My name's Lila. I like Lila. I'm kind of rocking with Lila. I'm just gonna write it down on the board. And yeah, I already know like a last name for her could be Baptiste. Lila Baptiste. I don't know why, but Baptiste just came to me and it feels right. And she's also very, very bubbly. I'm gonna do / ray of sunshine. I love her already. I like the idea that they're already established friends by the time we're introduced to them. Oof. Okay. See, and this is the part like with coming up with characters that usually trips me up a bit, because I feel like you either put way too much into your characters where you're coming up with stuff that is honestly kind of like irrelevant information, and it's not information we need to like get the story started, versus not coming up with enough information, not understanding like character motivations, or I shouldn't say not understanding, but not really highlighting or knowing your character's motivations, goals, things that drive them, things that scare them, their role in the story. And this is why like a lot of the times I have a hard time getting my projects off the ground, because I spend too much time in this phase right here. Because a part of me is like, girl, don't overthink it, but at the same time it's like I want to spend like the proper amount of care with coming up with my main characters, you know? So I can always figure out how they gel like off camera. This is just to capture like my initial process, because obviously I don't want to put like everything out there. Sorry guys, this one lock is like annoying the hell out of me. Whatever, it's just gonna have to stick out. But yeah, so I'm thinking like one of the characters, like maybe one of their parents owns a mom and pop shop, but I feel like that would add a little extra seasoning, if you will, if one of the characters was directly affected by this. So maybe they own like this really nice like restaurant. I'm not gonna get into what kind of restaurant it is. I can figure that out later. So that will kind of make it a little bit more personal, I feel, as opposed to just, we need to protect the neighborhood from gentrification. If you're personally affected by it, then I feel like that will up the stakes a bit more. Especially if it was like a mom and pop shop that was like passed down through generations. Like maybe like her parents took over for her grandparents, and it's just like something in the family that they hold really dear, and they're just like, guys, we cannot let them get rid of this mom and pop shop. Like, this is my family's legacy. And they're like, girl, we got you. Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty cool. The other stuff I can flesh out like off screen and just write in my docs, but I just wanted to capture like the initial brainstorm for the characters. So now we're going to switch over to the computer portion, and I am going to go ahead and go through Pinterest and try to come up with different like looks or styles for the characters. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the screen so you guys can kind of like see me go through Pinterest. I don't know if you guys want to stick around and watch that, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. So yeah, so let me go ahead and switch over my camera. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right. Okay, I've got my Pinterest up. I gotta put this mic down so I can actually like scroll, or I guess I can hold it while I'm like scrolling, but the first thing I want to do is I kind of want to come over here and make a new board. Or this is gonna be, I'm just gonna call it, I'm gonna keep it a secret. Yeah, call it Harlem Nights. So wow, I can't spell, guys. Sorry, you guys are making me nervous. Now let's start with Donnie. I think I said he had like Tyler the Creator fashion. Ooh. See, like this kind of vibe. But I'd want him to have like shorts. Like, yeah, like this low key. Like low key. This is kind of like this is perfect. Like the hair and everything. Like, this is the perfect vibe for Donnie right here. This is exactly what I had in mind for him. Yeah, hold on. Let me go ahead and save that. We're gonna save it in save. Now I should do like different folders, but I already know like which is gonna go to which character. So for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna put it all under one thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But if you guys stayed around to check out part 2, thank you guys so much for sticking it out and watching me fumble my way through ideas. This has been a very interesting series, and I'm very excited to continue pushing forward. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that's very different. It's kind of forcing me to really hold myself accountable and finish the project, especially now that I know that there are people that are going along on the journey with me. So, you know, in a sense, it's like you kind of got to deliver. So it's a good pressure, though. It forces me to actually sit down and really hone in and lock in on a project and get it done. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this journey. I hope to see you guys next in the next video. I believe the next installment is going to be maybe structuring or like outlining the pilot, because by then I'll have my story and my characters a bit more fleshed out. And then I think I'm going to focus on outlining it. And then part 4, we're just going to be writing it. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for checking it out. As always, if there are other social media platforms that you'd like to check me out on, I'll go ahead and post them right up here for you guys. So definitely feel free to go and check those out. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, or if you'd like to see more content like that, let me know below in the comments. Leave a like. Subscribe if you're really feeling it. And until then, I'll be catching you guys in the next vlog. So peace out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.